Hi, everybody. Welcome to Human Biology. It's week 5, and I'm Dr. Gustin. And glad you came back. And I just want to make a couple comments about the exam that we had last week, our exam number 1. Quite often, I got what I got on this exam, and that's like I had a lot of high grades, a lot of really low grades, and not as many grades in the middle. And what that tells me is probably it's not the material's not that hard, that some people can get really good grades on it, and that it really is something that you can study and you can learn and you can perform well on. But what it also tells me that if you don't study, it really it's hard to fake it. And I know some people will say, well, I studied and I still did badly. But you really got to kind of tighten up on how you study and get a little bit more serious and commit a little bit more to memory. I highly recommend that you go back to your test and look at the answers that you got and what you got right and what you got wrong. And one of the things you can do is go back in your I'm going to stop it. Hi, everybody. Dr. Gustin here. I just wanted to make a couple comments about exam number 1. Exam number 1 turned out very similarly to what it usually does in this class. And that is that I get a lot of high grades and a lot of really low grades and not quite as many grades in between. And that can mean a couple different things. One is that, there's a bunch of people in the class that have previous biology experience, and this wasn't that hard for them because um, they've heard of this a lot of this before. And that always happens in an introductory course like this. But I also get high grades because there's a lot of people that study really well, that do what you need to do, review the material, take me seriously, look at the questions, learn the vocabulary, and when you take the test, you're really ready for it. So congratulations to you guys that felt like you actually learned something and you were able to apply it and demonstrate your understanding on the test. The ones that I get worried about are those really low grades. And the things that what I think about when people get really low grades is no matter how much you think you studied enough, you probably didn't. And if you're putting a lot of time into it and you're not getting results, it doesn't mean you're bad at chemistry. It doesn't mean you're bad at biology. It means you have to learn to get your studying format kind of organized a little bit better. And the amount of time, how you're doing it. This course is actually pretty well organized. And when I write the tests, I go right through these notes and I look for questions that correspond to each one of the sections in the notes. What I would recommend is when you study that you go over the vocabulary words and you practice those out loud, not just reread them, but practice them out loud with the answers covered up. Practice each one of these points and explain the difference between an element and an atom. Do it out loud. Don't just read it again, but see if you can say it out loud without looking at the answers. And so you can do that through the whole study guide. Notice that each one of these points asks you to do something. So it's a great tool for studying. So use this handout to study for your exams. What the other thing I would recommend is go look at your exam. If you don't remember how to find the answers or how to see the answers on a graded exam or quiz, go look back at the syllabus. There's a little section there. It says how to see your answers on your exams and quizzes. Once the due date comes around, then you can go back and look at that. Go on the test and look at what you got wrong, and then look at the answer and say, oh, I just made a mistake. I just bubbled it. I just clicked the wrong thing. Or I really didn't know that, or I thought I knew it. Go look back in your notes and see where you would have found that answer. And I bet you're going to find every one of those answers somewhere in your notes. What you want to do is you want to figure out, did I not take notes well enough? So I've got to work on my note taking, or did I just not study enough? And I guess there's another one. Did I need help? I didn't really understand it. So try to diagnose your problem. And if the answer is that you need help or you need some, little discussion about organization or whatever, or how to do this, contact me. I can help you out. We can talk about it. If you want me to quiz you once in a while or once a week or something like that, I can do that. So let me know if there's anything I can do to help. But if your grade was lower than you wanted to be this time, shoot for getting it up a little bit higher. Look at your overall average though. Notice that all those quizzes and our other assignments really do pad a weak test grade. The problem is if you get a lot of weak test grades, it could really impact your grade. So let me know if there's anything I can do to help, but hopefully that helped you improve for the next test. Good luck.